This is where it gets to be a pain in the butt in this car. So far what we've done, this car's been making a weird clicking sound, and we think it's because this is loose, and I mean, why else would it be doing that? The clicking sound. So we took off the valve cover, the thing for the spark plugs. You gotta take off the wheel, the accessory harmonic balancer, drive belt kind of thing, and the other part here, the tensioner for the drive belt. In order to get to that, which we have to take a whole bunch of 10 millimeters off, and then one 13 millimeter up here. And then also this the crankshaft bolt you have to take off, and every time you take it off, you got to replace it. So when you take that off too, you gotta. I should have recorded it, but the reason you have to replace it is because when you put the crankshaft bolt back on, you have to put a new one on because you torque it down so much. It gets, this is the crankshaft bolt, it gets these little rivet kind of things there, and you have to buy a new one every time. But anyways, in order to take it off, when this is on here, when that's on there like that, you have to put something like this, you can find the back of your car, up in the corner like that. That way this wheel doesn't move, and then you're just putting the torque to take it off onto this, because otherwise you'd just be moving the whole entire crankshaft, and then these would move, which is nice when you're trying to see where it's loose, but it's not nice when you try and take that off. So anyways, that's a pain in the butt, and that's what we're on right now. Also, I don't think I mentioned this, with the drive belt, this tensioner here, you have to put a smaller ratchet, if I can find it. You gotta put that in there, and then anyways you put that in there, and then you push it so that way you can take this off and to take that off, because that has tension on it from this and the belt. So it's the one up there. It's way up there.
What did we use before? Did we
I don't
use
know.
this, or did we use a?
Last time, or in between the last time I recorded this fun thing here, and today we kind of figured out that the tensioner is shot. We got a new one from our Chevy dealership. Has that little cap there.
Well, the first thing we gotta do is we gotta check the timing, make sure it's in the right place.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it is, but I mean, we have to put that back in, and we're just gonna put it back together, right?
Yeah,
we're just see if it runs.
Putting it back together.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's like Grandpa was saying. If you kind of look, we didn't have to do any of this at all. We didn't take any of that out. If we knew what we do now, we could have just replaced the tensioner. Oh, and I might as well mention this now. I'm thinking about it. This stupid resonator. I don't know if this is a common thing on Cavaliers, but this stupid little, portion here that connects with the valve cover, it snaps off like every time. What we did the first time, because this whole thing's happened before, what we did the first time is we took a soldering gun and kind of melted the little cap back on. I'm gonna show you what the tube actually looks like. That could have been bad. Ow! That hurt. This goes here with another part, and this is just so stiff, this tube, that every time it always just breaks. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna slap this back on there and then put the that tube on. That tube would go right here on here, and then this would connect with that, kind of like that. We're gonna put it on first and just get it lined up with this going on there, and then Gorilla Glue it so we don't have to actually bend it. basically this is the night of day 3 or 4. I can't honestly remember working on this Cavalier. The issue was the tensioner, and I don't know where it is. It's somewhere, the old one is somewhere down here. But basically it deactivated for some reason when we put it in every single time. So we went and bought a new one, and we put it in, and that was basically it. So some issues that we had. I covered it all up again. I put these all on the cover, but I sheared a bolt, and that was a lot of fun. So we went on a wild goose hunt or witch hunt for the bolt. It's a 10 millimeter, and it sheared because the torque was 89 inch-pounds or 7.4 feet, and that was too much for the old one, I guess. So basically all of these 10 millimeters, and then the 113 or millimeters here, and then the 13 millimeter up there, they are all 7.4 feet of pounds torque, or that's also was that 89 inch-pounds or whatever. So are these two. Those are both 10 millimeter too. And yeah, that was about all we had to do. That thing right there, the one with the special Allen wrench you need for that, that's 66 foot-pounds. And then the actual tensioner, I don't know if you can see that, but that's 55 foot-pounds torque. So that is that. This has been a pain in the butt. If you do have this issue and you know that it's the tensioner, because you can pull it out and check, and if it's deactivated when you pull it out, well, that's probably the issue, so you need to replace that already. If that is the issue, you can save yourself a hassle and just take it out and replace it and see if it gets any better. But if you don't know and you think it could be anything else worse, then it's safe enough or safer to do it this way. Because I mean, sure, you got to take off the mud cover and jack up the engine. That was the other thing. You have to jack up the engine a little bit to get the engine mount off. That's what that is here. But if you don't know what it is and you're somewhat suspicious, I would suggest doing all this instead of ruining your car. So that's been this whole adventure here. And yeah, another thing to note, this little tube thing to the resonator chamber here has the weakest mount ever. So this is like this because we soldered it once, and then it's white because we put Gorilla Glue on it. So I don't know if this is a common issue, but it's definitely a pain in the ass because it breaks every single time. But Gorilla Glue seems to solve that, so it's been a process. So today is day 4, I believe. When did we start working on this car? I don't remember, to be honest. Basically, put everything on last night, the cover and all that. We even got this connected, which was a little bit of a pain. And yeah, these are all torqued down correctly. Each bolt for the engine mount is 55 foot-pounds, including the ones down there. I'll zoom in real quick for that. Yeah, so next thing's next. I have to torque that down, the crankshaft bolt. You can use the wrench kind of bar that you have in the back of the Cavalier for your tires. It's like the perfect length to put across into the accessory drive or harmonic balancer, or and since it's bent like this, it can sit on the frame of the wheel pretty well, and it won't bend. And what you're doing is you're making it so this isn't what you're cranking, and then you're cranking in the actual bolt. I already put the wheel on, took my car off the jack, as you can see. So now all I have to do is put this on. And that is the last piece of this whole stupid puzzle. Just for the record, these nuts, the real nuts, lug nuts for the wheel, torque these down to 100 foot-pounds. That's what the internet told me to do, so I was like, well, why not? And yeah, these are only tightened a little past finger tight. After the fact, what I've noticed is if you push this in, it's easier to do this, but I can't do that because I'm recording. So got this on, torqued it all down. Engine jack is over there. It's all low again. Really, that should be it. Oh, so it'll be a really cold start for the record. Right now it's, yeah. So okay, well, I'll come back with the car boot up. So it's day 3 or 4, and I've gotten it all good set up now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and hop in and try to get it started. Mostly because there's nothing else I think I can do to this car. Oil's good. What else? Everything's torqued down. I torqued down the bolts on the wheel, so I think we are pretty well set. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, I mean, this really can't do any harm, and I know right away if there is an issue. So